Africa doesn't lack talent, it lacks exposure. Would you agree with that? If you don't, let me debate with you a little bit. If any of you follow research like I do, you will see that over 50% of the population of Africa is just young people. And what does that actually mean? Well, for me, that's in business, it's a very new market that understands the digital space and knows how to use the digital platforms to provide a service that can be valuable to many businesses. Now, let me dive deeper into what I actually came to speak about today. For a very long time, Africa has been known for a lot of resources, from minerals to materials and services, right? Africa is very good at exporting primary resources, right? But I recently had a podcast episode with a lady called Shuda Deringo. She owns a film production company and she's a producer, right? She was talking about exporting services as well. And then I really thought about it. Currently, right now, if Africa's population is more than 50% of it being young people, what does that actually mean for the new age and what business could look like in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? It means that we're going to have this whole new market of people that understand devices very well and know how to deal with technology, right? So what could actually happen out of this? Well, firstly, for starters, people offering their service from a different country, offering it to a different country and earning money that could be in euros, US dollars, and still be able to earn top dollar while you're in a country that spends at a much lower rate. Because, for example, someone coming out of a country like Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa. So in countries like these, the cost of living is 3 times lower than what it would be in a first world country, right? Now imagine you have a client that's in a European country, an American country, and you're getting paid 5,000 euros or 5,000 US dollars a month to do that service. In a country like South Africa, where they earn everything in rands, that would be maybe 100,000 rands. And the cost of living there on average, the average person earns, let's say, maybe anything from 10,000 rand to 20,000 rands. So you're earning 5 times more what the average person would be earning. So now if you're starting a business that provides services to these kind of countries, you're able to earn more and you're also able to pay people more. So that's something that a lot of, I think, local businesses are overlooking as to what they can offer to the rest of the world. Right now, what the global market is looking for is a lot of fresh perspectives and execution plus culture. So what does that actually mean? You still get a lot of countries within Africa where you're not able to monetize on platforms like TikTok, YouTube. What does that actually mean? You see, in countries like that, people still consume international brands. Like, let's say your Red Bull, energy drinks, food, fashion market, they still consume all these products. Prada's, your Louis Vuittons, but they don't have marketing capacity in those countries. What could that look like? See, when you have platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and then you reach a point where you're actually able to monetize on platforms like this, what's stopping you from collaborating with these brands? Because there is an audience, there is a market for them in the country that you live in, right? So that's what we are also seeing within the next few years of what the future of marketing could look like with African companies. And when we start to open our minds to collaboration like that, it creates more speed and credibility. What do I actually mean by speed? See, usually when people have to create a campaign from a first world country, from a different, maybe a country in Asia or whatnot, when they need to create a campaign for an African country, it's a very long process. It's like you first need to do market research. You first need to get your team on the ground. You first need to send some people from that country and then study the market and all that. But when you have creators within that country already that you can just collaborate with, then the process becomes even more speedy because they have your target audience. They have exactly what you're looking for. So then you can exchange your services in exchange for the money that they might have for you, and boom, Sharan, you've created value for both sides. So now, what are some examples of international collaborations that we can see within the next few years in the African continent? The first things, for sure, a lot of freelancers in your creative services. So you have services like video production, photography, graphic design, anything digital related, your web developers, technical services, cybersecurity, all these services that can be done from a different country. You're looking at sales, you're looking at customer servicing, you're looking at virtual assistants. Other things you can be looking at as well are agencies, marketing agencies, cybersecurity agencies, HR agencies. You've got your consulting agencies. All these services can be offered from a different country. And that's what we're looking at as we're moving forward into the digital era. So now, what actually allows you to succeed in a market like this, where everything is moving forward and the digital space is dominating? The first thing a lot of people need to understand that I've observed is that a lot of the times we're waiting for the door to be opened for us. And sometimes you just need to open the door for yourself because it's already unlocked. So it means that, firstly, how are you positioning yourself to actually benefit from all of this? Are you reaching out to different companies? Are you reaching out to different people from different countries to be offering your service? Whether it be by emailing, by calling, even traveling to those countries, understanding what it is that they have there, how they do things, how we can also export our services, being in the marketing industries, being in the creative industries, being in the service-based business. So what does that actually mean for a lot of people? Well, now some of you might be sitting there and saying, but what would make our service valuable? I mean, they can probably get good results done in their countries already alone. See, what you're offering as a person from a different country is that, firstly, they can pay less for your services, and to you it still means a lot because the cost of living in your country is much lower. But secondly, also, other than paying less, they also don't have to pay insurance, don't have to pay for employee benefits, don't have to pay for all these other things that come with a full-time person, right? Thirdly, a lot of companies look at what we call corporate social responsibility, how they're promoting effective and economic change. So you tick off all these three boxes, all these three criteria. And that's why you should be looking into what we call the exporting of services in this day and age. So yes, I've spoken about a lot of things right now at this moment. All we know is the future is cross-border and not only local, because when you're working from your own space, from your own country, right, a lot of the times the businesses within that space are always competing for the same audience. But when you open your doors and open your ears and your eyes to the world, you start to perform on a much bigger stage. And it's no longer just about, oh yeah, we all want these clients, but it's about what value can you actually create. And if that value is valuable, then how soon can you start?